And now, to the millions and millions of listeners and viewers all across the world, it's the That's Not Christian podcast.
Let's go.
Yeah, what up, y'all? It's your boy Switch. I'm here with your man Jimmy. I'm here with your boy Jay. I'm here with your man Ant. And we got our very, very special guest, Trackstarz in the building.
Yeah. Oh, ATL's in the building.
Yeah, man.
We got 2/3, but it's all good. What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing, man?
We're
doing good, man. Doing good. Ryan's on baby duty.
Yeah,
so I hear that.
Yeah.
Know how that goes.
I hear that. Yeah. That's always a reason not to show up, man.
Yeah. And that never stops.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
We're glad to be here, man. We're excited. We're thankful that you guys returned the favor. You know what I mean? You was on our platform and you know, we just was blessed to have you guys, and we just say whenever you guys want us on, you say, hey, about 2 weeks. You're like, oh, okay, we'll check and see. And I think it's a little bit different for us because I know during the week we kind of are a little bit more busy and stuff like that, but we made time for you guys. So
we appreciate that. We appreciate that.
Y'all all ready for the storm?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. We good. We good.
Well, you guys getting the tornado alerts over there, right?
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Yo, how do you get ready?
Crazy.
How you get ready for the storm? You like get water and charge up your batteries? Like, what does that entail? What does that mean?
It doesn't entail anything for us because we're not used to it. So we're completely unprepared for this.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just pray. That's it. Right. Just pray.
It actually happened about a month ago. I heard a siren at 2 a.m. So I had to, get everybody up, go into what I thought was the safest place in our house, and just waited till they.
You're like, Lord, is that you?
Right? Oh wow.
Or is this the purge? One or the other.
That alarm is totally different.
I never heard. I've been in Cali all my life, so we don't get no alarms or nothing. It's just like, oh, we're having an earthquake.
Wow.
What you saying, Jay? I was gonna say you probably had to like move all your horses and all your stuff, right?
Right.
That's why Ed is in Atlanta. He's in Atlanta.
Yeah. I'm out here. I'm waiting too. I had to go take the net down from the trampoline because I ain't want it in the neighbor's yard. If it happened, if the wind gets crazy.
Right. You got weights on it or anything like that?
Nah, I staked it down though. So
yeah, tornado ain't gonna help anyway.
I mean, not in that case, nah. But the winds, one of my neighbors' trampoline, they ended up in somebody else's yard. So.
Oh wow!
I can see that.
Finders keepers,
right? That's that one. Nah, man, we just waiting to see what's going on. They keep hyping it up. I think every time they hype it up on the news, nothing happens.
Nothing.
Yeah. It's when they least expect it is when we get the worst.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much. That's true. Pretty much.
So, like the clouds and all that, been looking scary and eerie over there right now.
If I didn't see a notification, I wouldn't know anything was wrong. At all. Right. It looks the same to me.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, my daughter's school said they might open later. That's what kind of gave me like the what's going on? But other than that, I don't know anything about this. So
I saw some schools went
y'all talking about
virtual.
is making me a little nervous. So
low key,
after this.
Low key, I thought you were talking about the topics, like the storm topics. I like, oh yeah, let's go. When you talking about storm, I'm like, a storm? What?
Right? He like, yo, I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready. Like,
oh, he's ready. Yeah,
I'm ready. Let's go.
Right,
they're ready to dive in.
Yeah, I'm thinking about something totally different. So when y'all start like going in depth about it, I'm like, what? We got a tornado warning.
Well, I mean, getting little alerts, but it ain't for tornadoes. It's been like flash flood and all of that.
Oh wow!
So I don't know nothing about that, bro.
Yeah,
we get them the little creeks around here. They'll flood the streets over here.
Oh yeah. They will.
So is that why Beth Moore is leaving Southern Baptist, because the weather was going on over there. Huh?
they got another storm. They got another type of storm.
They got another storm, the conservative storm.
Yo, y'all sound like the Southern Baptists just live here in Georgia.
That's what they think when they think of the South, right?
Yeah,
That's
Georgia, Southern Baptist. That's it.
Georgia's that's like the South. That's the whole South is Georgia.
Yeah.
Isn't Georgia part of the Bible Belt?
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, it is. Okay, there you go.
Some would say it's the buckle.
Oh,
Okay.
all right.
It is. Yep.
yeah, man.
No, I think she.
So
she
what happened
left.
with this switch?
Oh, okay.
Well, all I saw was that she was splitting with Lifeway,
Like,
and she says that she's no longer a Southern Baptist. So I'm not too familiar
just
with Beth
say,
Moore, I'll
Jeremiah?
be honest. But you guys could probably talk more about her. And I've seen her. These guys, the rest of the crew has put me on as far as, she was the girl, the female that was talking about the Trumpism in the church and stuff like that. I seen that. I seen her talk about LGBT, which was controversial. I think John MacArthur told her to go home one time about female pastors. So I vaguely know about her. That's as much information.
Yo, he told her to kick rocks like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Go home.
something.
They were like in a convention. So
Wow. Oh wow, he said that out in the open, like, yo, stop, go home.
Oh, what's that, like fireside chat or something like that? I think it is. Is that what it's called?
yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, I'll say this because we had this on our entertainment report. It is, I think, majority of it is the Trump stuff. I think she just felt like they're still supporting him, still like riding for him and stuff. So she was just like, I can't deal with this no more. So I think she said something like, I'm still Baptist, but the Southern Baptist thing I just have to get away from.
Right.
Yo, what are they still supporting about him? He lost.
2024, dog. What do you mean? First it was January 6th, then it was March 4th.
March 4th,
And now it's 2024.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
It's actually really sad, man. To see how split the church is right now is crazy. Like I remember, all of this used to be like one big happy family at one point. Maybe it wasn't, we just thought it was, but I remember going to like events like Passion, those big church events, and there was no sense of this rift. And then Trump comes, and then all of a sudden everybody's taking sides. It's been crazy to see how it's like torn everybody apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like charismatics versus Calvinists before in THH, and now it's like conservative versus
liberal.
Liberal.
Yeah.
This war seems a little bit bloodier though. I remember that conversation. It wasn't like this. It wasn't this brutal.
Oh yeah.
Well, nobody was leaving their denominations, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Now, is Lifeway part of Southern Baptist, or that's just like the publishing company or whatever for like books or whatever? Does anybody know?
That's a great question.
I think Lifeway. I know of one time Lifeway was a store here. I know in Georgia it was they had a couple stores here. But I don't know if it was like a part of the Southern. I mean, it could have been something. Southern Baptists could have had their hands in it. I don't know for sure. But I do know that Lifeway had a lot of bookstores here in Georgia, when I used to buy Christian hip hop on CDs, I used to go in those type of stores and look for Christian hip hop in those stores. You know what I mean? Especially when I knew the release dates of stuff. So so I'll say that like they do have, they did have stores. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Right. Well, wish I guess Beth the best if she feels that this is the right decision for her, and
she's gonna lose a lot of support. She's gonna lose a lot of
streams,
for sure. A lot of sales. Yeah, I mean that's not a small decision. She's walking away from everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well.
Well.
Yeah, I'm looking at the
left and right, right?
Well, as long as she's not leaving Christianity.
Oh.
Who? Like who?
Wait, who's leaving Christianity?
Huh?
Like who?
Yo,
Switch. That's not Christian.
Yo, watch your mouth, beloved.
Watch your mouth, beloved.
Who's leaving Christianity?
Well, so this video, Eshon and his wife say they are no longer Christian. They no longer identify with the word Christian.
Well, they didn't say they don't identify with the word Christian. They literally said they're not Christian.
True. And they said they leaving the faith. That's
they said they're leaving the faith too, and they said that you worship a pagan god.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I have a question real quick. So, because in the beginning of the video, it was saying he's saying I still follow the name of Jesus that is not the European name of Jesus. So I still follow the way. Yahshua. I still follow the way, but I don't follow European Christianity. I think that's what he said, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's not denying that that the Messiah came. He's not denying the Holy Spirit or anything like that. But he's saying that those aren't the words that he uses. He uses Yeshua HaMashiach, the Holy Ruach. Some of this stuff that we used to with the not just Hebrew Israelites, also Messianic Hebrew roots, different Christians that brought this argument up. So yeah, man, it's pretty interesting. How did you guys feel? Like, what did you guys feel about this video? Is there anything that raised red flags for you guys?
I got mad questions, man. I feel like that video only. I just got way more questions. Like I don't know how to feel.
So we used to have a team, a bunch of artists on our team, and this topic came up during one particular year where a lot of our artists, this team called Destinations, a lot of our artists started talking about this. We don't say Jesus anymore, we say Yeshua or Yehoshua. We don't say this anymore, we say that. We don't, and it was just this whole big movement on the team. Right. And what it kind of came down to for us and how it kind of got squashed, there was one guy kind of leading the charge. And we just had to kind of sit with him and say, hey, man, like, are you saying that you don't believe in the Son of God coming to save us from our sins and raising again on the third day and then going to heaven, right? You believe that story, right? I do too. So this is almost like a semantics game at this point.
That's what I thought too.
You may think that, European devils gave us some bad language and blah, blah, blah. Is it the same story? Are we talking about the same person? Yes?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Well, as long as we're on the same page there, the wording and all that, I don't think it's as important as they may think it is. Or even some diehard Christians think it is.
Right.
What matters is, did that person really exist? His name Jesus, Yehoshua, Joshua, whatever you want to call him. Right. That guy existed. That guy died for my sins. That's who I'm following. Right. That's all that really matters.
Right.
So getting bogged down with names and stuff, there may be some truth to the history and all that kind of stuff, but it just kind of seems like a tangent, where it says like, don't, I'm gonna say it in my own words. The Bible says like, don't fuss about stuff that don't matter. Right. That's kind of what it kind of feels like to me. So that's how we kind of squashed it, because it was like, this is irrelevant.
Right. But I think the difference here is that he said, him and his wife literally said like that we're worshiping a pagan god and that's not his real name and that's not true Christianity, and his wife even made reference to the Ruach or the Holy Spirit, told her that she was idolizing scripture, and then they went on, on another tangent about how the Bible is unreliable, or King James, is unreliable.
Translation.
Right. And the Septuagint and all that they changed words to appease the king and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And so that's where like, because I agree with you 100% with all of that. Like, all right, you want to call him Yeshua, fine. You know what I mean? Like, if you in Latin America and your name is Jose and you come here to this country, your name is Joe. You know what I mean? Like, like you still the same dude and you're gonna answer to both. You know what I mean? And we talking about a living God. I don't think that a living God is not gonna answer to an English name versus a Hebrew name or a Greek name. That's just that's just how I feel about God. You know what I mean? I think he's much bigger than that. But The fact that they made that distinction and they made numerous they just made numerous statements about the veracity of scripture and stuff like that. It was kind of like, it was concerning to me, and like I said, I just have way more questions, for him and them, because they said so much in that 1 hour video that I was just like, I mean, I get what you're saying with the pagan traditions, right? Scripture does talk about, arguing about the Sabbath. And they were talking about the clothing. They were talking about Christmas tree and the Easter bunny. Like, I get all that, I mean? I get it. I agree. Like, I've never had a Christmas tree. Like, in 21 years that I've been a Christian, I've never had a Christmas tree. You know what I'm saying? So I get it, and I feel you. You know what I'm saying? I get it and I feel you, but like, what pastor, right? Because he said all the pastors were he said they were Masons. Did he say they were Masons?
Yeah, something like that.
He said they were Masons. Okay. Yeah, I got like 45 minutes in. I got 45 minutes in.
It's a lot of stuff in there.
Bro, I was in 45 minutes and then they started talking, okay, we're not going to talk about religion. We're going to move on to music. And then that's when I was like, all right, I'm out. I spent 45 minutes on this joint. But, it's just a lot, man. It's just a lot. And it's just, I just got way more questions. And so he said that, that the people in the pulpit were like Masons, right? And it's like, well, who are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, who is pushing this whitewashing of European Christianity? Like, I would love to know, because if we're talking about Johnny Mack, or we talking about TD Jakes, like, who's pushing this, right? Yeah. Like, you've been in the game for 10 years, over 10 years, you know what I'm saying? Like let's call some names out, because if you have this revelation, right, this is the truth that you've been holding on to for so long, and and you've kind of been letting out slowly. I think his wife used the words like drip slowly or whatever. Then enlighten us, right? Who are these pastors that are whitewashing Christianity? Because you should be warning us, right? If we believe something false, if we're worshiping a pagan god, then I feel like I want to know, you know what I mean? Like, who are the people who's leading the flock astray? Which pastors are part of the Freemasons? Which CHH artists are pushing this whitewashing? Like, yeah, those are legitimate questions. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude's been on tour. I met him on tour with GOM. You know what I'm saying? So like, was GOM whitewashing? You know what I'm saying? Christianity, like. Yeah. These are serious questions, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I think one of the things, man, like, when I saw that, I didn't see all of it. Like, I didn't watch all of it.
Right.
I'll be real with y'all. Like, I felt like a gut punch. You know what I'm saying? And not like on no idolized nothing, but just on somebody that I respect. Like, I respect Eshon Burgundy.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, especially in these times when it comes to Christian hip hop, like, I respect his pen. I respect him as a person. I respect his knowledge and stuff like that.
100%. He's my favorite CHH artist. Yeah, like, ever, hands down.
Yeah, so I respect that about him as a person. Right. So when I saw that, I'm like, and I think the reason why I felt that way is because, like Sean said, we grew up in a show called Destinations, and the thing is, we've had artists like now that I can speak about now that have the same situation. It was like Jesus first. And then all of a sudden it's Yeshua, like you said, and then it goes from that down to like I don't know if everything in the Bible is 100% accurate. You know what I mean? Right. And then it goes from that to
white man.
It goes to black man's God. We're the chosen people, and then it goes from that to I'm praying to my ancestors. You know what I'm saying? So. And my fear for him is, and like I said, I don't know Eshon Burgundy personally. Right. I don't have his number. Right. I'm praying for him, but I'll say my prayer for him is that rabbit hole will stop where he is, because if it keeps going, it's going to take him in somewhere where years later we're going to be like, man, what happened to Eshon? Yeah, and that's my heart, honestly, just being real.
And I also think that sometimes people think that we as Christians don't educate ourselves on our history or our roots or the traditions and stuff like that. When they were talking about, translations and things like that, I was like, I kind of wasn't feeling that, because I'm
Right.
like,
It's kind of a weak argument, man.
it
That's
is a
like,
weak argument. At the end of the day, we have, if you go on Bible Hub or you go on these
right.
apps, they have tons of translations. And those translations aren't translated from English. They're translated from Greek and whatever they have of like Hebrew, you know what I'm saying? Like Septuagint, the Dead Sea Scrolls and all
Right.
those things.
Right.
You know what I mean? When Paul wrote his letters, he wrote them to an audience that spoke Greek. You know what I mean?
Let's go.
They all didn't speak Hebrew. These were Gentiles. So, these writings are liesus, right? Which is, if you translate it in English, and everybody wants to talk about, it should be a Y, and it should be really Yahshua. But it got translated with the J, and now it's Jesus. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think Kyle Manning just said something good. When we first got saved, right? And I would like to ask them that. When you first got saved, who did you get saved under? Was it Yeshua HaMashiach, or was it under Jesus Christ? Because I know that I was filled with the Spirit, you know what I mean? And I am filled with the Spirit under the name of Jesus. Now, I've been through this rabbit hole before, even myself, with the names, because there's so much information out there that kind of that we can obtain, you know what I'm saying? Being in this age of information. So I get it. Like, I know, like, if you want to call him that now because you feel like it's more reverence, that's fine. I'm not saying
absolutely. Yeah, I agree.
That's no problem with me. If you believe that that's the name you want to call the Messiah, and that gets you closer to what he believes is his roots, then that's cool. Like, I have no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to talk about paganism, like Jimmy said, we could talk about that. We could talk about the Easter Bunny. We could talk about the Sabbath. You know what I mean? The importance of keeping the Sabbath. All those things. You know what I'm saying? But it's not like, don't come at us like, well, y'all just not educated. Y'all don't. You know what I mean? Y'all just blindly following a false doctrine or doctrines of men or God.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Is like, who is teaching this, right? Because, like, I don't know any pastors, right, that we all like, and I mean, like, names that we know and that we recognize. Like, I don't know any one of them, like, because he also said, I don't remember if it was him or his wife, but he said that there was an idolatry of pastors, and these pastors want you to sit at their feet and they don't want you to read the Bible. Who? You know what I mean? Like, who?
Well, like, there are some that fit the first part. There are some that fit the first half of that. I don't know if they don't want you to read the Bible, but there are some that we run across that do want you to worship them.
Right.
But that's a whole nother problem. I don't think that's related to this problem.
Well, I do think so, Sean. I'll say a little bit of it and the reason why I say that is because when he talked about it, he's like, we came out of a church and it was bad and da. Like, in the beginning of it, I think his wife says something like that, or she starts talking about church hurt a little bit. So I don't know if that's the whole picture of this thing, or it's just that was part of their story.
That initiated the look. And we've seen that. We had a bad church situation, and there were people who left that church and got into this specific way of thought.
Yeah.
They had Bible studies, and they just kind of got deeper and deeper into it, and they adopted this way of thought. So church hurt does cause you to start looking around more than you would, which is not bad. It's just without any kind of guidance, you may start stumbling into some dumb stuff. But
right.
Now, now I'll say this to their point: has the church accepted a lot of paganism? Right, we got the the images of Caesar. What's his? I forgot his last name.
Borgia.
Yeah, we have
Caesar
him
Borgia.
as a joke as our logo actually. So yeah, the guy with the thumbs up, like, you know what I'm saying?
That's not Christian.
Exactly. But, that's exactly why we got it on there.
Have we, as a church, right? Have we ever started to really consider like some of the things that we are being taught? Like, are we on some just accept everything because the culture that we in, the American westernized culture, or You know what I mean? Are we just or are we just following blindly? You know what I mean? I'm not, and I know it's kind of going back to what I was saying earlier, saying that we wasn't, but is it true in some sense that some of what we've adopted, like these pagan traditions, in time, like, you know what I mean, throughout history?
Well, I'll say this. I'll think about Christmas, for example. Like, people always say, of course, the trees, the gifts, all the stuff is paganism. And what happened was that, the church at that time was just like, let's put something out there so it could combat whatever idol worship or whatever. It was almost like what people say about hip hop, Christian hip hop. Like, the people who say they're anti-Christian hip hop is like, y'all just massing hip hop and didn't put Christian on it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if you really think about it, it's like, but at the same time, we're celebrating our Savior. We're celebrating our Savior, and we're giving gifts. We're giving gifts to each other,
Right.
Kind of like they gave to the Lord. You know what I mean? And we're not saying we're Jesus or we're God, but we're just celebrating that. And that celebration of Him coming and His birthday, this is what, these gifts supposed to mean, honestly. You know what I mean? But I don't see nothing wrong with that if you want to celebrate it. You know what I'm saying? I go back and if you have a Christmas tree in your house, I don't look at you less than you're not saved or not. You know what I mean? I think everything is fruit for me. Like, I look at people's hearts, I look at where they are, and sometimes at the same time, some things may be like, man, you have to grow. You know what I mean? Some people have to grow in certain areas and certain things. But to me, everything in America is really paganism. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of stuff that we do every day that if you found the origins of it, you'd be like, wow, I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that.
Nike's a Greek god. Yeah. Adidas is a Greek god.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, are these things?
Anybody know what size Eshon wears? Because I might DM him and ask him if I could get his Jordans.
He's gonna be like, no, my brother. You gotta get your own.
and that's the thing. Like, just because something may originate, right, it doesn't come directly from the Bible, right? I'm sure those dashikis don't come from the Bible neither. But
you know what? It's funny. It's funny you say that, because that actually comes from Western Africa. It's a Yoruba word. And when you look at the region of like Egypt and Ethiopia, you know what I'm saying, and Israel and all that, like, they dress way differently than people on the West. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just have a completely different style, swag to them. You know what I mean?
Right.
But they would say that was an incursion, though. They would say that people from mid Asia, people who are Arabic, have incurred into Africa. So, they've taken over northeastern Africa. So they would say that that's not the original people from that area. Because if you go to Egypt now, it doesn't look necessarily African. You know what I mean? It feels more like Middle East. So I think that's the argument.
Yeah. No, and I get that too. But that's when you look into the history, that's been going on in that region forever, since the Ottoman Empire. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, when the Moors would go into Spain and into Italy and whatnot, you know what I mean, and the back and forth between that. Like, I totally get that. But like, Switch was saying, like, that's not. I don't think that's Hebrew dress, according to what you see was in that region. When you look back at how people dress and whatnot, in the Yorubas are Nigerian, which was more so of a Mali Empire, and so they dress way different, you know what I mean, and that's why you see a lot of those the shikis come with kufis too, because it's part of that that whole Mali Empire. And we know that they were mainly Muslims. The majority were Muslims.
So my point is that I don't think that everything that's pagan, like you have a wedding ring, right? Like, that's supposedly the history stems back to some kind of paganism, right? Does everything that's pagan mean that it's anti-God? You know what I'm saying? Because that's more my concern. The scripture speak against certain things that are like, yo, this is idolatry and this is anti-God, and now you're worshiping another God, you know what I mean? So that's more my concern, because you living in this world, you know, you don't know who developed it's like back in the days when Paul was speaking about people who were worshiping idols, you know what I'm saying? And even though those idols weren't anything, you know what I mean? It would depend on the person's heart. And you know what I'm saying? Don't sacrifice food to idols.
Right.
But some individuals were free from that. They had enough faith to know this ain't really a God. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
in the same context in our culture now, there may be things that are pagan, but to us it has no effect because we don't look at it that way. You know what I'm saying? We don't idolize it that way. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that's that is a very good thing. Like, and that's what I just said about everything we do in America has a ritual back to paganism. And I think that's one of those things where it's like, do we do that? Do we, you know what I'm saying? Do we just like stop doing everything, figure out what's biblical and just do that in our everyday walk of life? I'm not talking about like enjoyment. I'm not talking about like entertainment everything. Or anything. I'm talking about your whole life. Like if you talking about what you eating, if we talking about your clothes,
no Bible apps,
no
Bible apps,
you
right?
Know
you got to read lambskins.
Yeah, the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of stuff that we do that God is like, I don't have a problem with you doing that. Like that doesn't, you're using that for my glory. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Because if that's the case, then people, I mean, I watch different people from back in the day, even to now, that's still like, yo, hip hop is the devil. Why y'all doing this Christian hip hop thing?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
True. That's true.
So it's like, how you can't say, you can't be like, this one is this and no, that's good and that's bad. When if somebody else is like, no, what you're doing is bad and that's bad. So you need to just get before the Lord and that's it. And it's like, certain, like I said, I'm not talking about just entertainment. I just use that as an example.
Right.
But I'm saying in general, like everyday life, if we walk somewhere, if you literally took a walk and looked at life and looked at what's around you and be like, God, is that from you? And then you're like, nope. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, did you like would you eat seedless if grapes wasn't grown? They were not no seeds and no grapes. They were artificial grapes. Would you still eat those if they're not real grapes? You know what I mean?
GMO's a pagan. GMO's a pagan, man.
Hey, man. I want those seedless grapes, man. I don't like that.
Nah, they pagan. I don't mess with no GMOs, dog.
Fake grapes,
dude. I ain't gonna front. I stopped spitting out seeds, and I love seedless grapes.
You can't even find grapes with seeds now.
Yeah, you sure can.
So I think we got a lot of questions. I think we're gonna see as their journey continues to grow. You know what I'm saying? I like just like Jimmy. I like Eshon. Like he always seemed like a very humble dude.
He is, man. In person, he's a solid dude, man.
Super nice with the mic. You know what I'm saying? And so as they're going through their journey, I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? I just don't bash us because we still call the name of the Messiah Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And also, you know, as far as the only red flag I had was like when they started talking about the translations and how you need the Holy Spirit in order for him to really reveal what the translation really means, and you need to do all this research because you go on Bible Hub, there's so many different, like I said, translations.
Yo, and your man said,
and this is
he said you got to do your research, and then he references a video on the whole. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he actually a documentary, like bro, and like QAnon people got documentaries for all kinds of stuff, bro.
I get it, like people want to talk about the Apocrypha and you know what I mean, scriptures that are referenced from.
Well, that's why they said they read the Sefer.
The Sefer, right? I mean, I got an Apocrypha in my
I got one too. I got a Tanakh too. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, like, and that's my thing. Like, we ain't just like newcomers and just be like, oh yeah, we don't know about, like, nah, we know we up on this stuff. Like, we know about the Apocrypha, we know about Caesar, we know about this stuff.
I have a question for you guys.
My only thing would be, and before you get your question in, it's just when they talk about, you know, the Holy Spirit leading them. I've seen Hebrews that deny the virgin birth. You know what I'm saying? I've seen Hebrews that start to deny that Christ was hung on a cross and that he was actually hung on a tree because of verses that they read and it doesn't fit their translations or whatever it may be. So
and I think that's why they distance themselves from Hebrew Israelites. I think that's why they did that too, because you really don't know when it comes to like Hebrew Israelite. Every Hebrew Israelite is different depending on what
There's
camp
a ton
they're
of
with.
them. There's
Right.
a ton of them. Yeah.
Different
Like
sects.
everyone exactly. Everyone that you encounter is you got to go through what do you believe this? What does this mean? You know, when you say this, what does that mean? You know, it's like you got to qualify all kinds. But I'm sorry, you had a question, Jeremiah?
I have a question, and I hope this doesn't sound crazy, but it's just a question for you guys. Do like we say Hebrew Israelites, is there anything in y'all culture, in the Latin culture, that's like our people are the original people type religion? Or is it
no,
like Hebrew Israelites or y'all?
only from Hebrew Israelites out here. Well, I'm in New York, so you know we supposedly from the tribe of the Puerto Ricans are from the tribe of Ephraim. But yeah, there's no historical anything that shows that. Now I get it, like you have the northern and the southern kingdom, and you know that whole divide, and they say that that's how all the Native Americans ended up on this side, and originally they were Hebrew, they were part of the 10 tribes. So I hear all these things, but I can't affirm that. I can't say, yo, I'm a Hebrew for real.
Some of them don't even give y'all that. They were like, nope, not even them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, light skin.
Oh yeah,
the
Edomites.
You're Edomite. You know what I'm saying?
Like, the reason why I ask that is because there is so many like stuff coming up for African Americans to like getting them out of the church because the doctrines just making them feel special and feel good. Like we had
so it's like it's an identity thing, right?
Yeah. And we had a good friend of ours and Sean's pastor on our show, and when we talked about the Black Panther and how in Black Panther they started talking about comedic science and stuff like that. So I was just intrigued that is there any like religions that like that try to pull Latinos away from the church as well? That's just
just the Hebrew.
I think no for Latinos. I think one of the main things probably would be the witchcraft.
Santeria.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because that one, because that's like socially acceptable. Like you could be a Christian, right? But you're still in touch with your native roots, whatever that is, right? From whatever country you're in. Yeah. See, YP said the same thing.
YP. What's up, sir?
So that's one of the main ones, and it's so deceiving because it uses a lot of Christian references.
Got you. With the candles and stuff like that.
Yeah, they use the Bible.
Yeah, saints. You know what I mean? So you could pray to a saint to protect you. It's Saint Mark. What do you mean? That's Christian. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of thing.
Yeah, they use the Bible. The sacrifices too in the Torah, like when they spread blood, and Moses had them. What was it? The bulls. Like he had splattered blood all over them, so they used that as a thing.
Yeah, same thing from my family, Jamaica. The Rastas, that's like the other half of the country. Yeah. Half is Christian, half is Rastafarian. So that's kind of the battle there. And I think what this gets down to, all of this is worthy of being talked about, like what Eshon is bringing up. And I think for a while, up until recently, the American church has been a comfort because all these people kind of believe the same thing. All these people seem to agree. So it gives you comfort to say, well, I must have it right because look at all these other people. I think where we're getting to now, it's been splintered so much that now people are starting to question, like, if these people that I deem as racist now taught me all of this, maybe they taught me something wrong. So they're starting to search. Yeah. And that's where these kind of doctrines come in. Is we're talking about, because there are some things that we have been derived from pagan, but that's why I always get down to at the end of the day is, do you believe the Son of God came to save your soul? Do you believe that person is God? That's what we believe. If we agree on that, we're good. We could talk about everything else for the rest of the time. But let's just start there. That was a real person that came to earth to die for your sins. Yeah. Whatever you want to call him. Are we talking about that dude? All right, good.
Right. Yeah, that's good stuff. The character, right? The character of Jesus, the character of God, right? So yeah, that's important. And even with the translations thing, like, does the overall message the same. You know what I'm saying? The death, the resurrection, sin entering the world, is that all the same? So yeah, man, I let's just keep them in prayer, man. You know what I'm saying? And this isn't to judge them. This is just us defending, like, yo,
right.
Don't just be throwing the baby with the bathwater. You know what I'm saying? Like saying, oh, well, Christianity in general. And I know that it was people consider that as a derogatory term, during that time where it was like Christians were seen that way. But, the Christians did accept that, you know what I mean? Like through the history and even the church fathers, they accepted that as a term. Like it was like glorified, like, yeah, we Christians, you know what I'm saying? Because it was a word that was used to persecute them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
right.
You know what? I think sometimes people get so deep into their studies, right? Where they let the studies take over rather than the spirit. You know what I'm saying? Like they get so far down that hole that now it's a project rather than spirit building.
Yeah.
Right.
And then also I think we're in the era of you got to test that spirit. You know what I'm saying? I remember in the scriptures talk about, like, test based off the word of God, test the spirit that you're hearing from.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because what you're hearing from could sound great, and you know what I'm saying? And one of the things I'll say this real quick is thinking about people who are in the boat as Eshon, and sometimes it like we talked about earlier was church hurt, but then also the whole civil rights thing going on in America, the whole cops and African Americans, and that's a thing that a lot of black people after that situation, and you saw your white brothers and sisters like, yo, he did wrong, he should have, the cops were right, and it's like, no, and y'all still not getting this, and you start and that's a lot. That's a lot on a lot of people. You know what I mean? I've seen I watched the Ambassador and Tonic had a podcast that they had, and they was talking about it, and the Tonic was like, yo, it was a lot on me. Like I felt that, like it was getting a lot, like these cops was like killing black men, and I was just like, yo, I'm feeling this. Like I don't know what, like, God, what's going on? You know what I mean? So if you have those type of those moments, and people are not answering, or they're saying stuff, more racial stuff, and like, just get over it. It's like, no, it's like you should be on my side to say, hey, that's an injustice. Let's talk about it. Let's keep these cops accountable. Let's get a conviction. You know what I'm saying? Let's get some of these things. And a lot of us wasn't seeing that. So that's another thing that's like, man, like Sean said earlier, like, these people I'm learning from all these people. I'm reading their books. I'm embracing their theology. But when it comes to civil rights, they look at it like, well, he's a criminal, he should have died. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
and I think, and that's just one of those things where a lot of black people were like, I can't do this church thing no more. I'm good. So what else is out there? So at the same time, when that happens, at the same time, Black Panther happens. So Black Panther is a fictional character, but at the same time, it looks good. It looks appealing. It looks like Pride.
The timing was impeccable. Yeah,
it was great. So now you're starting to see people like, all right, what is about praying to my ancestors? What does that mean? What does that mean? Oh, and then also another thing too is some of the people that was leading these things were like that. We're like, yo, we pray to our ancestors. You know what I'm saying? We get back to our original religion in Africa. So that's what we need to get back to, because that Christianity stuff is pagan. It's the white man's religion. You get what I'm saying? So now it's like you caught in the crossfire, because as a believer, you're like, man, what they're saying is itching my ear. But on the other side is I still believe I've seen Jesus do too much stuff in my life, but this is my brothers and sisters are saying that they're not feeling what I'm feeling, and they're not trying to feel it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was just a catch-22 what a lot of people have dealt with in the 2010s, I would say, dealing with Christianity, and African Americans dealing with Christianity in the 2010s. And if you're going, and another thing too, real quick, if you wasn't going to a church that's not theology strong, or a church that's like, let me show you where, like, what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So, you was like a wind, like somebody in the wind going from there to there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sean, you mentioned that your family's from Jamaica. We got a friend named Riggs, and he mentioned that he noticed that a lot of American uh American blacks struggle with identity more than people who like are like first generation here because they might be from Barbados or Jamaica or wherever else Trinidad. You know what I mean? Like, is that something that you've experienced or you noticed?
Yeah, I have. I think it does help ground you to know, okay, my people are from, even though, they were slaves too, right? Like we just got dropped off first, you know what I mean? That's all that happened. But there is there is a land that you can say is yours, where if you look at Jamaican population is predominantly black. There's people from all races there, but it's pretty, I think even so the prime minister, somebody is part Chinese, but there's all races there, but it's predominantly black. So it looks like, okay, that's my home. At least I know where my home is. That gives you a little bit of a sense of pride, because when you get here, especially if you're truly an immigrant, I was born here, but if you're truly an immigrant, you face the same prejudice that African Americans face, but you also face the prejudice of having an accent from everybody. You know what I mean? Right. So you kind of gang together and say, well, my people are back there. I'm just a visitor, So it does help with identity. There's some other challenges that come with it, but having some sort of I know where I'm from does help with feeling like you're centered, you're grounded. Yeah. And that's what a lot of people are struggling with. Not people you could do your ancestry or whatever and say, I'm West African, Nigerian, Ghana, whatever. Right. But you don't know, and you don't know anybody from there. I know people from Jamaica, I know other Jamaican people. Like there's some sort of a connection. So I do think that factors in a little bit.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting when he said that. Something you said too about immigrants, like Jamaicans or whatnot. I experienced that in the Latino community because my family's from El Salvador, and California is like primarily Mexican, right? So we talk Spanish way different, and it was like bullying and fights and everything else, And this is just like me speaking English, you know what I mean? But when the times that I had to speak Spanish, you know what I mean? Yeah, it was like it was all of that pushback and stuff like that. So it's interesting that you say that about being an immigrant. Not that you are, but I'm saying just people who come here and are immigrants.
There's a lot of conversations that people don't really know. Like there's inner conflict with Africans and There's inner conflict with African Americans and people from the Caribbean. Like there's all kind of inner conflict that that conversation hasn't really been had yet. We just talk about it as a global black, you know what I mean? Right. So we don't get into the weeds and talk about like my mom having to be not just black, not just a woman, but also an immigrant. That's a whole nother thing. You know what I mean? That's a whole nother layer to it.
That's good stuff, man.
Yeah.
And like I said, this isn't just Hebrew Israelism, Hebrew Israelites. It's also the Hebrew, what do you call that? Hebrew roots movement, Messianic Christians, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And this argument's been going on for years, you know what I'm saying? Like we've kind of seen this thing where it's like the law, the Torah, right? And for as much as we know it's holy and you know what I mean, it blesses the families and we know that it's good. People have tried to like put an emphasis on the law. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that was something that even Peter and Paul kind of had the little, right? The little disagreement with not disagreement, but Paul rebuked Peter because he's like, yo, when you with the Jews, you know what I mean? And the Gentiles around, you want some, you want some, let me back off because, the Gentiles and, you know what I'm saying? And he rebuked him. He's like, yo, like these are our people in faith as well. You know what I mean? Through faith in Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? Not through the law, through faith in Jesus Christ.
Exactly. So,
I think we still kind of dealing with that today in this age. You know what I'm saying? They ain't even believe that Paul. They believe that Paul was trying to get rid of the law. You know what I'm saying? That's why he took the Nazarite vow in Acts. You know what I'm saying? Where they were like, oh, should the Gentiles do exactly. Acts 15, where should the Gentiles keep the law? And they were like, yo, we're not requiring them to keep the whole full law of Moses. This is what they need to do You know what I mean? I think they describe like 3 things, you know, sexual morality, food with blood, and idolatry or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. But Eshon and his wife did address that. They said that they weren't under the law, but they felt that the law was liberating, to practice it. So I thought that was interesting because they made an emphasis, they made it a point to say that they're not under the law, so that, which was encouraging to me, you know what I mean, because they still believe that we're saved by grace. That's the impression that I got, at least.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, let's see, man, how this journey goes down, man.
Yeah, man, we definitely got to continue to keep them in prayer, because I think this definitely is a journey for them. I think that they've been exposed to a lot of new information, right?
Yeah.
Some things that maybe they hadn't heard before or been exposed to. And so, let's just keep them in prayer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But definitely Shabbat Shalom, you heard? About that Shabbat life, you heard?
Yeah. Josh says that switches from the tribe of Gad.
Switch.
You hear that, Edomite? Nah, man. So we recently, before we even got on, we seen this interview that Kirk just dropped.
Right.
With what is it? Tamron Hall?
DJ Jeremiah got the notification. He got notifications on.
No, honestly, I was just online and it comes up, and it came up. I was on IG, and one of those blog sites on IG was just posted it, and I was like, "Yo, I didn't see this," and it just Kirk was just there, man, and his wife. So, but yeah, I just shared it with you.
What did you guys feel about the original situation? Like hearing Kirk curse out his son. What were your thoughts on that?
I think we're getting hung up on his relationship with his son. To me, it was more so, can anything get you to get to that place? And how comfortable is he with a lot of that language anyway? It was kind of like he's talking about his son and what his son did, and I was like, man, those some compound cuss words he used.
Right?
They felt comfortable. they felt super comfortable coming out, no stutter. You know what I mean? So
like
it was
butter,
more
right?
so. Yeah, it was more so like, okay, let's talk about that first. Like, what I was worried about is, are people going to take this as, there you go again, Christians acting like they're all holy in one sense, but then when they by themselves, this is how they really talk, and they want you to act the other way, but they don't even act that way. So that was my first worry. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have his same problem, so I don't want to like just say I would never do this or that. But it was a little surprising, and all the people that jumped to his defense was a little surprising. It was like, a lot
of people.
It was just like, interesting, huh? So because my whole thing is, this is real. My relationship with God is real. This is not an act, and so many people believe that it's an act, and to me that just adds to that feeling of this is fake. He's just doing this for money. He pretends to be, the gospel Christian guy in public, but this is who he really is. That to me is a negative. That's not a positive. So that was my initial reaction.
So what did it change? Your reaction change?
No.
To me, you said initial, like
when I first heard it, that's what I felt. It didn't really change because I haven't really heard him talk about that part of it. I don't really hear a lot of people talking about that part of it. They're just talking about, kids are crazy and he's an adult and blah blah blah. That part of it is almost irrelevant to me.
And that was from both sides. Dude, that was from Christians in the secular world. We're like, that's so it's
so what?
Right. I was like, what? Okay.
And I'm not saying that people don't. I know a lot of Christians that curse, so I'm not saying it's surprising. I'm just saying that it just adds to the narrative of this is all fake, and that's what I worry about.
Right. Definitely.
I mean, and it was more than just the cursing. It was, and I'm not saying I agree with cursing or I disagree or whatever, but the tone, like, what he was saying, you know what I'm saying? And I think somebody said that, like, you could say, oh shoot, you know what I mean? Or you could do something and not say an actual curse word, but the heart behind it can come off, you know what I mean, in a negative manner. So, you know, it was, I think it was
Jesus
more,
talked about that.
Yeah, more than just the cursing. It was just more the like the attacking and the threatening. Like he straight up said he gonna beat his son up. You know what I'm saying? That's what he said.
He said, "Put a foot through his neck."
I heard him
put my foot on your neck.
I heard him say he gonna put his foot on the neck of a grown man.
Right.
Oh, here we
okay.
go.
No, I mean, I feel like, well, we already discussed this. I mean, it's hard to really speak on it because we don't really know the full context of it or what his son did for him to react like that. You know what I mean? I mean, it's easy to say, you know, he shouldn't act that way. Of course, we know that. You know, I think they were both wrong, right? In the way they both spoke to each other. You know what I'm saying? The son should respect him. He shouldn't be using those type of words with his son.
Right.
But, you know, again, we don't have the full context of it. So I don't know what exactly his son did or been doing, and then kind of, you know, got him at a vulnerable moment. And then on top of the fact that it was private, you know, it's a private moment that his son decided to share. And it just looked bad in that sense. But I mean, I guess that's what a lot of people kind of extended that grace to Kirk, because it's like, man, we've all slipped somewhere somehow, except, you know, he got the spotlight on him. You know, I mean, a lot of people mess up, but they're not on TMZ. So
yeah.
So it's kind of different, man.
People don't got that fame and that fishbowl lifestyle.
But what'd you think about that interview though? You know, with the
new one
we just saw.
Tamron?
Yeah.
I ain't really. Well, I mean, we watched it, but I don't know. My thing is, why is he going on everywhere speaking on it?
Right.
Because, like I said, because initially, like, it was a private moment, but now you got to go everywhere.
Now you're going on a promo run.
Yeah, you're doing a press run for it now. Like,
yo, somebody said that this might be a reality show.
Oh, it might be. What's the Ayana Fix My Life?
I do not want to see Kirk on that at all. I don't want to see him on that or the Red Table Talk.
I don't want
That's next.
Yo, he could be on the Red Table Talk. He could be on the Red Table Talk. I can see that happening.
You might try to milk this all the way.
I can see that happening.
He might be.
The thing that I also thought about was it's really difficult for preachers' kids and kids of these famous Christian people because they get to see the real person all the time. And what his son may be expressing, and to me, it was wrong for him to release these tapes. But what his son may be expressing is, y'all don't know the real person. You think he's this gospel person. He is not.
Right.
I think that's the person. That's what he was trying to accomplish. And I think for a lot of kids, that's why it matters so much who you are in private. And that's why I stress that so much, because your kids can see you. They know who you really are. And them watching you be two-faced, where you get on stage or you get in front of a camera and you sound one way, and then they get to see the other side, that can ruin their faith right from the jump. So that could be, you may be seeing the results of that in this kid. I don't know, but it feels like that may be what's going on.
Can we stop saying kid?
Right, he ain't a kid, right? Dude, a grown man.
He near my age. He near my age.
It's his kid.
His kid, but he's grown man. I'll say this. I've worked in youth ministry years, and what we saw in youth ministry was that the kids who parents were legitly saved, who really adopted Jesus in their household, wasn't bad kids. Like, they were good kids. They I mean, I don't know what majority of them are now, you know what I'm saying, as you get older, but majority of them were very good kids, and people saw that. I'm saying what I'm saying because I feel like Sean, piggyback what Sean said, is sometimes when you see doubleness in your house, that doesn't sway you. I mean, it could sway you, and it can make you jack you up like, wow, so is this just a show, XYZ? But the problem with saying that is he has 3 other kids that are, you know what I'm saying, straight.
And they're fine.
Yeah, so it's like, so you have a dynamic here, because One is this is Kirk's oldest son,
Right.
like kind of he was saying to Tamron with his ex-girlfriend and help raise with his wife. Now, when he was saying that he posted something recently, his son posted something recently where he was saying that he felt like he was abused, like parent abuse or like not child abuse, but like. And I'm trying to figure that out. Like, so was you getting spankings? Was you getting beatings? Like, was Kirk Joe Jackson? Like, what is the situation going on? And like, was he abusing you? Like physical abuse, or was you getting spankings? Because I grew up on spankings.
Right.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying?
I grew up on whoopings.
Yeah, whoopings too. Go out there and get that switch. And that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So it's
extension cords and all that.
What kind of kid were you, bro? What you doing?
Bad. All kinds of bad.
So you got woken up too? That's how bad you is. What's the level of badness? If you got woken up in your sleep with a belt, then you were bad kid.
Yeah, definitely got one of those too.
Now, this is a good question by Kim. She says, "Who was laughing in the background?" That disturbed me more than the cursing when I first heard it.
I believe that was his wife.
I thought
no. He said it was his brother. He said it was not his brother, but like somebody that he grew up. Yeah, like
he said it's like an uncle to carry on.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
I guess was he trying to mediate or was he trying to?
I guess
he was gassing them. He was putting a battery in his back.
If you laugh and like that's just like. You know, like if I hear one of y'all cursing out and be like, yo, chill, like, fall back, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be there just chuckling away like, oh,
yo, you the wrong accountability partner if you're doing that.
Yeah.
But it's funny coming from Kirk Franklin, though. That's
like, why he laughed.
Like, stomp.
He laughed. He was like, whoa, that was smooth. You ain't lost it, bro.
Come on. Like that person, Kirk, you're hearing that person go off like that. You know what I'm saying? So, I do think at the same time, releasing those tapes, it's kind of whack. I mean, honestly, and the reason why I'm saying that is because it's like, if we having a serious conversation, if me and my mom is having a serious conversation and she's going off on me, I'm not going to release that to the world. I don't care if she's world famous, is she a greatest preacher ever or whatever, or a singer. It's just like, I'm like, this is between me and you. So I think what he did, like, I think this is a cry for help, honestly. I really think, when I was reading his text, it's kind of like he wants to be with his father, but it's something there that's blocking them from getting together and really like being a family again. You know what I'm saying? That's what it felt like when I read the comments.
And that's something that I said in the last episode, that, you know, this is not always a bad thing, in the sense that you're getting exposed, right? Your dirt is getting exposed. Yeah, of course, nobody wants their dirt out there. Obviously, when you're famous and everybody knows you, this goes, you know, Shade Room and everybody else. But maybe this had to happen for them to finally, yo, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? It's like us as Christians, sometimes we don't deal with certain individuals. We're like, yeah, I'm not dealing with them. But you know that the Lord has been tugging at your heart. Like, yo, you got to go reconcile that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe it took this kind of thing to happen for Kirk and his son to finally, all right, we gotta have this talk. You know what I'm saying? We need to
so you're saying this is like a cry for help.
Yeah, but at the same time, I feel like also God's doing at the same time,
for sure.
Where you're being exposed. You know, sometimes we think that being exposed, of course, is embarrassing, but that's God really, you know what I mean? He's disciplining you, you know what I'm saying? He's showing you a way out, showing you, listen, take care of this, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who knows if Kirk could have went and lived his life and never even reconciled with his son, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or you know what I mean? Maybe it takes this to, all right.
Only thing I mean, Kirk has said.
Go ahead. No,
I was gonna say that the in the interview, Kirk mentioned that, you know, the son has been going through, you know, therapy. He has gone to therapy and all this other stuff. So, I agree with Switch that maybe this will be like that moment where they're both like, okay, let's sit down and you know, let's try to fix.
Yeah, because the son was saying that therapy was years ago, and that he tried to hit him, or he did hit him. You know what I'm saying? Like he's saying stuff like that. So I'm just like, maybe it takes this magnitude for you to be like, yo, I gotta.
Yeah. You know what I mean? My only thing with that is, I don't think his promo run is gonna help it.
Right. Right.
because he keeps going and speaking and publicly about the problems his son had. His son's not gonna want to talk to him.
Right, right, and
That's
yes,
true.
especially if he dragged him through the mud, right? Because he's
Yeah.
over here on TV talking about like, yo, my son got problems, and
problems,
we've been
right.
going through counseling, like, but we didn't finish watching the 12-minute video. We watched like 6 minutes of it, so he
I
might
don't
have
need
gone
to see
into
the
it.
rest. Wait a
No,
minute.
I'm saying as far as like my problem with it was it wasn't like if I mess up, I'm gonna be like, yo, I did this, I did X,
Yeah.
Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
talk about you.
we-
Don't talk about
right.
you.
right. We had a little situation between us in the podcast, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? My bad. I overreacted. I should have communicated with you guys better, right? That was a conversation. You know what I'm saying?
After
And
you
I
cuss
didn't
us
see
out.
that. Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Got the tapes. Send the tapes to Trackstarz. We'll play it.
Send it to the crew.
Right,
Send it to the crew. The crew have it in here. Y'all being like
we
a
give it to the
silhouette.
crew. We give it to the crew to leak it, and then we come on your show to do the
To
interview.
talk about it. Yeah. That's the
That's
CHH
the
game
promo
plan
run.
right there.
But that's what I'm saying. Like he didn't say like his part in it and what he did wrong or what he should have done better. You know what I'm saying? It was like my son.
Right.
I didn't like that, bro. And especially when you go in. This is the second time because he went on Instagram or whatever, and he did a story, right, or whatever it was, and he went live or whatever. It was like, yo, my son, we had some problems, whatever. And he apologized to the people, not to his son, for the way that he called him by his name or whatever.
He's defending himself.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. I don't like that. I don't like that.
like that either.
Yeah, I think that's
What-
funny. I think, and I don't think people are really looking at that far. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he's a man. He did this and that. But it's true. It looks like he's really covering up for himself rather than really trying to fix the relationship.
Right. That's how I see it.
Yeah, or really apologize for what he said. You know what I'm saying? But he's like, that's corny.
But you
For
got.
one, huh?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro. I mean,
No, I was gonna say because if that's truly a mistake, right? You stand by it and then you really apologizing to your son. But it don't seem like that. It don't seem genuine in that sense.
Well, here's another thing too. You got to think about it is we're not dealing with somebody who's like just any old body in gospel music. We're dealing with the head honcho of our era of gospel music. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
definitely the goat of our era.
Yeah. So we thinking about it like if this was the 60s or the 50s and Mahalia Jackson, something came out about her, people be like, oh snap, yo, we gotta, you know what I'm saying? So we're dealing with somebody that if you walk down the street right now and you say, yo, you listen to gospel music, a lot of people will be like, yo, Kirk Franklin. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the urban content when you talk about urban hip hop, R&B type gospel music. It's Kirk Franklin. He's the number one person that people don't talk about. So that's what he's like. Now he's like, well, I am Kirk Franklin, and people can't know that I'm talking like this to people, so this need to be changed. No, I'm serious. Like that's being real. Like because that comes with your persona as a gospel star. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's been times when you be somewhere with somebody that you chill with, and after they done off stage, like, yeah, man, let's go get some MF burgers. You're like, what? Like what? Like what are you talking about? Like, are you serious? Like. And you don't say anything because you feel like they may feel like you judging them, but you like, did he just say that? Like, really? You know what I mean? So now it's to a point where, using Kirk as an example, he has to be like, man, I have to clean this up because this could shake my image. And maybe that's God. Like God maybe be like, hey, I want you to shake your image and get, like you said, somebody said earlier, get right with your son, but then also shake your image like you don't have it all together. You don't have it all together. You need me more than anybody else.
That's true.
You singing Imagine Me too.
Good
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's true.
That's good
Yeah.
stuff.
Ooh.
That is
And then you find out
Holy Ghost
how you went to, huh?
We having a Holy Ghost revival today.
Right.
Ruach.
Nah, man. I need
Holy
Jesus
Ruach.
too, bro. Like I need God
Nah, not
every day.
Jesus. Yeshua HaMashiach, all right?
Hashua. God bless you.
Bless
I
you.
need him
Yeah, I
too.
was say you sneezed.
I was just joking, man. If anybody, you know what I mean. But I mean, I think that's what it is. It's like when you in the public spotlight and like
Now that makes sense.
Yeah, you have to your image is like what do people know about Kirk Franklin that's really bad besides pornography? like in the past it was that, but right now it's like what?
Yeah.
What do you know?
Surgery.
Yeah.
Yo, he wrote right through that. He said, you know, besides pornography, like it was light.
You brought it up.
No, I'm just saying. No, what I'm saying is like,
Right, yeah,
I'm saying that based off of that was like years ago when he was on Oprah Winfrey Show and talked about that. So it wasn't like that was last month or last year.
He was on Oprah.
You know what I'm saying? So that was like, you know what I mean? He telling his story like, yo, I got free from it, blah, blah, blah. So that's the only thing that people would like really negative say about Kirk Franklin.
Right.
But now this is like, yo, Kirk Franklin is hood as everybody. My grandmother that go to church, she cursed me out and then go talk about Jesus. You know what I mean? Like,
he came off like that was fluid. Like he on the block. Like,
yo, like he just got saved, right?
Yeah.
Like he just got saved last week, yo.
Guys called them immediately.
Taking it off, you know?
Yeah.
It's funny. I got a question for Jeremiah. I saw your tweet where you said, and you mentioned it earlier on the show now, that you don't want to see him on Red Table Talk or any of these other therapy, whatever. So what's the reason behind that? I'm curious to know.
Well, I think because I feel like Red Table Talk, it just feels like it's entertainment. It's like I feel like Jada puts people on those seats. She has the right intentions, but it ends up turning into entertainment and memes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we got a Snoop Dogg meme out of it. We got a Will Smith meme out of it. And it's like, does this change these people? You know what I'm saying? My prayer for Kirk is like him and his son really like go behind the scenes and clear it up and then come out and talk about it. Yeah. Because I think that's what needs to happen. Phil, huh? Yeah. Not even Dr. Phil. I'm talking about the Lord. Like go with you and God, your son and God, and y'all have a hash out conversation and really talk. And have that conversation like, okay, this is what happened. Have a legit mediator, somebody that don't care who Kirk Franklin is and don't care who you is, and really have a mediator about that, and they talk that out, and they become father and son again. And then after the fact, if you want to show the aftermath of that, but put that in public, like to me, it's just like.
What do y'all think it is? What do you think they're fighting about? You think it's money? Like what could it be that's that bad?
Well, Kirk said that his son keeps disrespecting him. So I want to know what's the disrespect. You know what I mean? Is it the way that he talks to him?
It probably is, but he might have. If his pops has been disrespecting him like all his life, you know, he learned that, you know, so he gonna respond with the same energy. Like he said, I like to see you try it or something like that. Like he was testing them at that point. Yeah. At that point, like, you know, a 33-year-old man tells you, I like to see you try. Hey, let's go in the backyard, put on them gloves, you know what I'm saying, and box it out, and then we pray together, and you know, and that's it. It's done.
This is why Jimmy got beat up when in his bed when he's waking up because his mom or dad.
How many of y'all would accept the fade from Pops? That's the question.
I'm good.
I'm too scared of my pops, man.
Yeah.
I have a real quick story, real time. My younger brother got arrested. Well, got arrested. He alive, but he's incarcerated right now. Yeah. But he tried my father.
One love to your brother.
Right. He tried my father. Yeah. And my father was like sick. He was like not like going towards his deathbed or anything, but he was like really sick at the time, and he was getting better, and then his health was failing here and there. But my father was like, I don't care how old I am or how sick I am, I'm gonna beat your tail. And he beat my brother up. And my brother was like, at this time, my brother was like young teenager. Yeah. And my brother was like, okay, I'm going to bed now. And it's just and like good night. I think I never could disrespect my parents, and because I think certain scriptures just really scream at me as a kid, even as an adult, and just having like that honor your parents, you know what I mean? Your life live longer, and it's just like I couldn't never disrespect them. Like both of my brothers tried my father when he was alive, and I was like,
I fought my brother a couple times, but not
yeah, that's like me. My pops could be old, but he, you know what I mean? He could be paralyzed. Well, God forbid, but,
him like that?
You know what I'm saying? One time I got a little crazy. over the phone. And he was like,
try it.
You
gonna
do that? You sure you're gonna do that? And then I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm capping.
Straight cap.
I'm capping right now.
Yeah, I got in an argument with my pops one time. That was the first and last argument, yo. And I didn't even say anything disrespectful. We was arguing. But mind you, my pops did like 20 years in jail.
Wow.
He was a big dude too. So we argued after he came home because he was staying with me, right? And he would and I didn't realize till after the fact that him adjusting and being home.
Yeah.
He left when I was a kid, right? So he came home still talking to me as if I was a kid. And so we got in an argument over that. But that dude got up and approached me, man.
Bro, you felt like a kid after.
I was, keep talking. Yeah,
yo, you lucky he didn't catch you in the shower, bro, with the shank. Yeah. You know what I
mean? Wow, what?
That's random, bro.
Right.
The shower with the shank.
Right, this dude.
That's how they do in prison. You know, I seen Oz. You know?
Yeah, but never again. Never again. Yeah, that was random. YP's like, what?
But the son, I don't know if he was lying or not, but he had said that this recording, TD Jakes was on the phone.
He did say that, and then Kirk Frankin
said a different story, right? Like, nah, that's not who was on the phone. He also said that he never cursed at his pops in that conversation, where it sounded like he did curse at his pops.
Like he did, yeah.
So I don't know, like, you know what I mean? I already see some things that have a little bit of lies. So I'm like, maybe you know, who knows? This could be clout. This could be a big clout chase.
Could be.
And maybe this is
tape soon, huh?
Yeah, this is.
He's a producer, right?
He want to be signing for your soul.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, he said
like, I don't need no money from pops. I'm a producer or whatever.
He said he don't need clout though. He was like, you know, that's why I haven't accepted nobody requests to get on the show or anything like that. But let's see, man.
And he not a little producer. Like he did like big joints.
Oh, word? Like what's his resume?
Like J-Lo's like some of her hits and stuff like that.
Oh, word?
Wow.
So, he ain't no chump producer.
Yeah.
So,
but I honestly don't want this. I know somebody. I saw somebody famous tweet this. I think it was D.L. Hughley, where he's talked about Marvin Gaye and how Marvin Gaye's father ended up killing him. It's like you don't want it to go that far. Like
my sister just posted that in the comments.
Yeah, I'm about to say someone just said that.
Yeah, you don't want it to go that far, because if it goes that far, then you're going to jail, and then people gonna feel a heavy like loss. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like you don't want that, man. You don't. Like I said, we don't know. We don't know how crazy this situation is. You know what I'm saying? But we do know that God is a comforter, and then God is he can reconcile people. If they just died to the pride in them, God could reconcile people. You know what I mean? So I think it's there, because honestly, Kirk, the way he was talking to Miss Hall, the person on the host, it sounded like he's like, that's my boy, I love him. You know what I mean? Yeah. But right now, it's just, I don't know.
Sean is like,
you gotta say it like that when you get to that point.
At that point, I don't know, son.
That first apology was like, I want to apologize to y'all, not to myself.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy though. So, because people in the comments like, you don't have to apologize to us, apologize to your kid. What you
I think he's putting a little bit of sauce on it. I think he's done with that kid. And now he has to look like he cares about him. That's personally what I think.
I think that there was something that made Kurt say, I'm done with him. Like, could have been whatever. Like, we don't know. We can make assumptions, right? But it could have been something that was crazy. And he's like, nah, I'm done with this kid. I'm cut off. Yeah. He's done. And then now we're trying to mediate.
Done when he leaked the tape, bro. What? You leaked the tape?
Yeah, that's
it.
a straight up threat. That's you going for my head.
And maybe he
Right.
don't want to admit. Maybe he did something wrong and he don't want to admit it neither. You know what I mean? And you're just like, yo, I've been trying to get you to say what you did was wrong, and he, you know what I mean? You don't know.
But you know what's so interesting? It's like he first released those tapes and people was like, yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So then he had
Nobody
to go deeper.
cared.
Yeah, he had to go deeper in the story.
Yeah.
And I told somebody at my job, I was like, you know what would have really hurt Kirk if he would have said like, yo, I came out to my father and he told me I'm done with you. That would have been like cancel Kirk.
That would have been worse than the tape.
Yeah, 10 times worse than the tape. So when I think he thought in his mind like, oh, my father's a known gospel artist.
That would have buried him.
It would
Wow.
have been done. But I think we so in the Christian ratchet community too that some people are like,
They're like,
I just said bad words to my son.
Right,
So what are you talking about? You know
Everybody
what I mean? Like,
says that. Like, my grandma would be cursing me all the time. This is a normal thing. Like,
Right.
not me. I'm just saying, like, people just kind of felt like,
People on Twitter were saying that though. People on Twitter were saying that like it wasn't a big thing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So it's just like that. That's what you're dealing with. So I think I'm trying to figure out, is he gonna keep going with this? Because that's the question. Is his son gonna be like, well, you on television talking? I'm gonna go on IG and talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be
Go
interesting.
talk to Adam22 or something.
and if he has other, and if there's
Vlad TV or somebody.
yeah, if there's more to the convo too.
Well, he
like,
said he got more tapes.
is there more to
He did
that
say that. He did say
conversation?
that.
Is there like, or did you just take that part where your dad just black? You know what I'm saying?
I think he's out of tapes because that second tape was kind of whack.
He said he's out.
So
Yeah,
what
I think he's out.
What was on that second tape? Because like
Nothing.
the interviewer said, I couldn't understand anything that was going on.
The lost
Lost
tape.
tapes.
I listened to it. I was like, what is
Nas.
this? This is
Is he
nothing.
Nas now?
Right. The lost tapes. We're gonna have a whole Kirk Franklin collection, volume 1.
Yo, but the
Over
meme,
trash
I ain't gonna lie, the memes and the re-songs of stuff have been hilarious.
Yeah.
Like people
Oh,
flipping
premium.
Kirk songs to like fight songs and stuff is hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got
And
one
then
with
once
flies.
Yeah. Internet is undefeated.
So what's up with Trackstarz, man? What you guys got brewing and being in the CHH community, you know, being here for so long. How long you guys have actually been doing this for those that don't know out there?
Since 2006.
Wow.
Wow. So you've been in the game for years.
I was 11 when y'all came out.
That don't help us. That don't make us feel good.
Been
Got the
11.
same grades I got.
I just kidding. I just kidding.
That's why I shaved. I shaved because of comments like that.
I said that because y'all shared a story with us on your podcast.
Yeah, one day was like,
Yeah.
I was like 8. I was like,
Dang.
She about to get married.
Right.
you didn't have to tell me that.
Yeah.
So you guys have seen like different eras, right? Like of CHH and
Seen them all.
Christianity, right?
Yeah, we haven't seen them all because I mean, there's a whole couple decades before we got into it, but we've definitely seen the rise and I would say tapering off of CHA. There's definitely some differences from when we started.
Right.
But you know, it's to me, we've always seen ourselves as solution providers. So whatever is needed, we try to figure out ways to help. So that's why we started a distribution company. That's why we do different things to help artists out, because our number one goal is we want to help get godly content to the mainstream. I don't care who it is, you know. So if you're making godly content, we want to help get it to where the most people can hear it and possibly get saved. So we work with what we get. You know, artists have changed a little bit, motivations have changed, content has changed, but there's still a core of artists that care about God, love God, and those are the people we want the world to hear about. So I'll say the music has gotten better, but the focus has gotten a little bit off since we started. So we're trying to help kind of get it back together
too.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
And also I would say shout out to Wado too, man. I think Wado is
Word.
Well, DJ Wado is like a big brother to us. We
He's
call
an
him Big
OG.
Bro. And the reason I say that because I did see the comment about Wado, and I feel like, man, I remember hearing his stuff even before like the podcast stuff that he was doing, and he was like hitting, like he had all the, like it was almost so crazy that like if you drop something, and back then we was dropping on Tuesday. People remember people were releasing music on Tuesdays. They weren't releasing on Fridays. Right. It felt like his podcast would drop that Monday, and then you heard the interview and was like, I gotta go pick up that person's album. That's just how dope he was doing his thing. You know what I mean? So I always shout out him. Even Chris Chicago too was doing his thing around that same time too. Doing podcasts is when we started doing some stuff as well. So, but I'll say I think the thing was that what we're talking about for people out there, just saying real quick, is just that a lot of CHH artists back then, we came in at the time when the beef with Tunnel Rats, Cross Movement, not beef, but like, okay, we supposed to do it this way, or no, we got to do it this way. You know what I mean? And then like somebody said, Calvinist versus Armenian. We've seen that too. But I think the thing is, back then, I really believe that scripture that talks about the choosing, like God is choose, like a few are chosen about this. And I felt back then, like Christian hip hop was like, I'm doing Christian. It was like you would laugh at until you proved yourself that, yo, this is good. You know what I mean? These people are good and they could rap, and their production may need to get better, but I think this is where we at right now. So with certain people had standard stuff, and I think what's going on now is, man, it's a little bit different, and I think people's focus could be back and forth sometimes. But yeah, I do think that when we came in, you had to be called to this because it came with a lot of lashes and everything, man. So
yeah. I think that because of technology and the production value has made it easier because, you know, with distribution and whatnot, that's what has allowed the motives to kind of change. Because remember before, it's like you had to get with a crew of people, right? And those people discipled you, you know what I mean? Like they wanted to know what your motives are, you know what I mean? It was really ministry focused. Right now, anybody could be a CHH rapper, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like anybody, you know what I mean? All you gotta do is pay your distro kid and that's it, you know?
Kim Thomas said, word, I need help.
We got you. Yo, I miss Kyle Manning, man. I miss you, bro.
Yeah, you see him, right?
He keep you sharp, man. Keep you sharp.
Yeah, that dude.
He'd be like, yeah, Trackstarz, yeah, Trackstarz, yeah, Trackstarz. All right, line for line. The devil.
Okay. Yo, we were cool.
Yo, we're good, right? Go ahead, say it, man. Say it, run it.
Yo, I told
because he said it a few minutes ago too.
I told the fellas, I'm trying to get Kyle Manning on the show, man. Who don't want to
get him?
Who don't want to meet this dude? He's on everybody's
my sister, who's also in the chat, blocked him a while back. So y'all two hash it out. See if he'll let you back in.
He is the most blocked dude in the CHH community.
I enjoy it, man. I enjoy it.
That's crazy.
So, do you guys are there certain content that you guys also have in the works aside from what you guys have been doing? Is there something that you guys have been like, let's try this or let's do this? Like,
and a follow up actually is since you guys have been in the games for so long, what's your view on this new type of media podcasting? I mean, you guys were podcasting before podcasting was a thing, you know?
Right. Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on that and new media and maybe things within the Christian community and media where we need to work on or we could work together and things like that?
Yeah, I remember the Serial podcast. Y'all remember that kind of blew podcasts up. And then it was a before Serial and after Serial. So we've definitely seen a change. But no, we're excited, man. That's why we try our best to reach out to everybody else in the space, like you guys. We had who do we have on recently? I know we got Chad coming soon, but we try our best to connect with everybody because we know we can't accomplish this goal by ourselves, right? Again, the same. Our core is trying to help get godly content to the mainstream. That's not going to happen with just Lecrae or just Trackstarz or just Rapzilla or just That's Not Christian. It takes everybody working together so that when people come into the space, it feels lived in. It feels full. I don't just have to watch Trackstarz. I could go flip over and watch something else. So it takes all of us. So I just encourage everybody, like we're a resource. I remember when the crew first started, they would text me and say, hey, how do you do this and how do you do that? Like that's what we're trying to facilitate everybody getting off, because we need everybody, because when the world sees like this is a machine, this is a lot going on here, they pay more attention. And if it was just us, we don't have enough content to sustain all these people,
Right.
So yeah, we definitely encourage everybody, get in there. If you're a podcaster, you're a producer, music, whatever you want to do, get a shovel and start digging, like get to work. We need everybody. As far as what we're trying to do now, what we realized is there's certain segments that we have that work better than others, and we've kind of gotten away from them mainly because of Donald Trump. We kind of focus a lot on politics recently, and now we're trying to get back to what we're really about, which is the whole line for line segment was born out of Jeremiah trying to convince me that Christian music was good in the first place, right? So I was skeptical. I was like, man, this hip hop stuff is whack. So he convinced me to give it a shot, and that's why we started the segment, to convince other people who are kind of like, they know about God, they don't really know, but this allows them to say, okay, let me give it a shot, So we try to come up with things that help kind of introduce people. So we have like this new segment we started that we're trying to get going again. It's called The Definitive. It's kind of like a bracket style countdown of, if you're new to the space and you kind of heard about Lecrae, but you don't know Lecrae for real. Here's like what we believe is his definitive song or his definitive album or whatever. Right. So that kind of give people like, if you go to like Macy's, they have like mannequins and they have sections to tell you kind of like, if you're this size, you go over here, or versus like a Marshall's where everything's just mixed in. I always saw Christian hip hop as like a Marshall's. It was like, you can find good stuff, but you kind of got to dig for it,
Man,
we're trying to make
gives
it
me anxiety.
It does, yeah. You can find deals, you can find really good stuff in there, but it's just like, just you walk in, it's like you figure it out, right? We want to try and kind of make it more like a department store. Like, hey, if you like this, go over here. If you like this, go over here.
Right.
Just to help people ease that transition, because it can be daunting if you don't know what's going on. So that's what we're gonna be refocusing ourselves on.
That's dope.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
And I would say this real quick. I'm excited for the new generation of podcasts and Christian hip hop. That's why if you follow me online, especially Twitter, I'm more active on Twitter than probably anything else. I always retweet stuff. I always, if I find other people out there that's starting, I may retweet some or like something, just because I feel like we know what it's like growing up in this space. Like, and I think one of the stories that we don't really tell people that much is like, for years we thought these artists couldn't stand us. For years.
Right.
No, I'm dead serious. For years,
they couldn't.
They couldn't. We
pretending like they didn't know.
We that line for line segment was a gift and a curse for us, because like when we got it on the South, we talked to Z. Now for some people, the South, you probably don't know what the South is. It was like Rapzilla before Rapzilla.
Yeah.
And they was like, hey, we love that line for line segment. Put it on here. Let's put it on our show. And we was like, okay, cool, that's fine. And I think a lot of artists heard that and was like, yo, them dudes is whack, blah, blah, blah. And I think one year we went to Flavor Fest. Ryan and Sean went to Flavor Fest, and people started seeing us, and they was like, oh, wow, okay, so you guys y'all do more than just that. And because I think everybody just thought we were just line for line and that's it.
Right.
And it's like, no, this is a 2-hour show. We talk topics, we help people with our noteworthy segment. We dissect stuff in the culture that people are talking about and see how it brings it back to God, or if it doesn't bring it back to God, and we decipher those things. We talk about movies, we talk about different things, you know what I mean? So there's stuff out there that if you just go and watch the competitive part of Trackstarz, which is line for line, you may think that, but like kind of what we say before we start every line for line is like, we do a 2-hour show. And we do topics, and sometimes we do dissects, and we do definitives. We do all this other stuff leading up, going towards the last part of our show is line for line. So catch our show in the beginning, so you can get helped and stuff from that. So all I have to say is, when we started seeing when I started seeing young podcasters, it reminds me of us. It reminds me of your grinding. You putting in all your hard work and effort into what you're doing, And it could feel overwhelming. It could feel like, man, I don't know if nobody hearing us. I don't know nobody, we have we have stories of stuff of being on an AM station or FM station, and we only can hear it down the street, or we about to do something big, and one of our topics, it was so controversial that the people were like, yo, we gotta let y'all go because y'all controversy. You know what I mean? So it's just like you got so much stuff that we've been through, that if I see the next podcast going through, I'm like, y'all got to keep going. You have no other choice. Like it has no other situations but to keep going, because somebody needs you. And you know what I'm saying? Like, prime example, I use, going back to Kyle, for example, even though he ain't on our channel anymore, he got you guys. And that's a great thing for him, because he's active. Y'all putting his comments up. He's active, and he was something that you guys needed. You know what I'm saying? And he could relate to you guys. And that's another thing too. And Sean says this all the time. If you don't like what we do, you can start your own podcast or find a tribe that fits you. We may not fit you. And that's fine with us. And we're cool with that. You know what I'm saying? Some people may love Wado more than us. And some people may love other people more than us. And some people may love us more than other people. But at the end of the day, we're the body of Christ still.
Absolutely.
We still love Jesus Christ at the end of the day. Regardless how you feel with us, we still will pray for you. And we still would be like, yo, we would say like, yo, my man kind of out there, but he's still our brother in Christ. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what it is. And I know that, like I said, for me is your young generation of podcasts, I think you just got to know your voice, know what you're called for. I'll say for you guys, I feel like you guys have more just like laid back, kind of like you told us, barbershop kind of feel to you. And that's your field, that's your area, and that's what your lean should be. I think the next step will be when we get together, you guys get a barbershop or ask a barbershop, so you got people there and you can have that feel to it, and that would be dope. That would be a dope idea for you guys that'd be your lane, and then the crew has their lane where they know, like, okay, this is what we're due. You know what I mean? We have some young ladies named MM Live. And that's they have a lane. They're more of on the gospel side, gospel rap side, and they go to all the events and they do all that stuff. That's their lane, and everybody got to fit their lane. And when everybody fits their lane, this media and CHH will be incredible.
Man,
that's facts, man. That's facts. Yo, you heard it here. TNC Barbershop coming soon. Franchise. You know what I mean? IPO is gonna be released next month. You know what I mean?
Yeah, do
That's
that.
a dope idea, man.
Yeah, because that's what they said. They told me, like, yo, that's our show.
Yeah,
Y'all need to have a barbershop.
The shop type.
Yeah.
Thing.
Before we wrap it up, have you guys ever been? I mean, now
I got another question. We're not wrapping up yet. Go ahead.
Oh, me too. I got another question too.
Have you guys ever had an experience at a live event with an artist? Right? Has there ever been like?
And they try to. You mean like they try to press? The artists
they try to
press
pull up on y'all, like, you know what I mean? Because we're doing this during COVID, but I know that you guys have been to many events and stuff like that. So has there ever been a situation where it was like, ooh,
I feel like YP would be the one to press you.
Yeah, that's
YP all love, man. Honestly,
YP's love.
YP is mad love, man. I did have an experience. I remember telling them this at Flavor Fest one time. I came in late. Me and my wife came in late, and we was coming into our hotel, and at the hotel was Christian Grey, Swoop, The Truth, and everything. And somebody was like, "Hey, yo, what's good?" And I turned around, I was like, "Yo, what's good? Who is this?" I'm with my wife, so I'm like, I don't know who this is. And then I think Christian Grey came up with like, "Yo, Trackstarz, right?" I was like, "Yeah." And this is like my first year at Flavor Fest. This is my first year at Flavor Fest.
2015.
Yeah. And we just started chopping it up. He was like, "Yeah, I like the line for line thing. It's all right," you know what I'm saying? But we like really talk. But then I could see Swoop looking over there like, "We know who you are."
Not about it, bro.
You know what I mean? So
not about
that's the only time somebody really came up on us like that. Other people, I think what they do, they just don't regard us. They just be like, "Yeah, I won't do an interview with y'all." You know what I mean? Or ignore us, or just say, or one of us catch them by themselves, or like one-on-one, they may do something with somebody else, not the whole group.
It's a different energy, right?
Yeah.
Like I remember Thizzle really didn't like Line for Line at all, but then he said he had a different feeling about it later, because he said somebody in his neighborhood came up to him and told him about it, and he saw the benefit of it in real life. You know what I mean?
Would you put him up against Jeezy or somebody?
We did Jeezy before, and then we did Rose one time too.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear that one. Okay.
Yeah.
There's been people who have gotten press for being on our show. I'll say that.
Okay.
Not something
Really?
we said, but something they said on our show.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
be careful when you
okay.
come.
I like that.
Yeah, we
got
had that
pressed
part.
by
We had that part for
Ain't got
yeah.
pressed by NF's fans.
Oh, yo, I saw your comments. I was like, oh, I
Yeah,
got
man,
him.
Yo,
That's
give him the
serious,
good
man.
news, Ant. Give him the good news.
What?
You a fan now?
I ain't no fan. I said it's Pete.
Oh, he broke
Why you
up.
lying? You want me to leak?
I
You want
said
me to
the
leak the
beat was
recording?
dope. And I said
That
Hot Pink
lost
was
joint got you, didn't you?
But yo,
and I
that's
said Hot
interesting
Pink
that
was the best one, huh?
nah, that I was gonna say that's interesting that y'all dealt with that because y'all like the crew I could understand, you know what I'm saying? But you guys aren't like, you know what I mean? Like
We
kind of
don't talk bad about
tabloid,
people.
right?
Yeah,
It's
right.
like y'all uplift the genre, you know what I'm
Right,
saying? And it's
right.
kind of interesting that they still go
But
ahead.
people take. I'm sorry.
We've gotten calls before. We've
Yeah.
gotten calls from people before,
But
like,
what-
"Hey,
yeah.
I didn't appreciate what y'all did. I don't like this and that." We've gotten.
Oh.
I get the calls.
Yeah,
so
he
they
get the
don't-
calls. Yeah, we don't know. Sean is like our arrow taker. He takes a lot of arrows.
Yo,
for us. Yeah, for me and
yo,
Ryan.
I don't want nobody calling me, man. I might Kirk
Don't
Franklin
call Jimmy.
somebody.
Don't call
I might
Jimmy
Kirk
an
Franklin somebody.
I'll put my
Don't
foot
call
on your
me.
neck.
Yeah, real quick. I see Josh said Trackstarz has been tremendous in supporting people. It's been a
Yes.
lot of love for my lady.
True.
Oh,
Dope.
dope.
Shout out to
Facts.
AI.
Dope.
Yeah.
Dope. Yeah, man. Like I think another thing too is we help a lot of artists. Like we do help a lot of artists. I think that's one thing too about Line for Line that people may not know the person. Like sometimes we do Line for Lines with people that's like, wow, like who is that? I think the last Line for Line we had like that was Coop. We did one with Coop and Logic.
Even when they were like Chris
Yeah.
Elijah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
You
fire.
put me on. You put me on.
and that's the point of it. It's not like just to do it, just do it. It's the point of, hey man, I think this person is better than Lil Durk. Period. And y'all think Lil Durk is dope, but this guy is better than Lil Durk.
All right, here's your alternative.
And this is your alternative
Right.
to Lil Durk. You don't have to listen to Lil Durk. You know what I'm
But
saying?
it wasn't even like an alternative, like on some Marshalls type of US.
Yeah.
Nah,
like that. It wasn't nothing like
Yeah.
that. It was like because I went into it like Lil Durk gonna win, which like who
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then I was like, yo, who's this kid, Chris Elijah? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, we put them on the playlist and everything.
Yeah, I thought it was dope.
That's the point. That's definitely the point.
Yeah. And I mean, like I said, it's sometimes we like I said, we've learned over the years. Some people gonna like it and some people not.
Yeah, like
And some
Kyle.
people not feeling
Yeah,
feeling
Kyle.
it.
Yeah. Because
Yeah, man.
Yo, man.
and we've had people, sincerely send us concerns like, hey, I never listen to secular music, so your Line for Line introduces me to the other side,
Right.
So, and it's like, yeah, that's why we started the disclaimer, because it's like, hey, I get that. I'm not trying to lead you astray at all.
Right, right.
This is not for you. This is for the people on the fence. This is for the people that are lost. Turn this off if you can't handle it. That's it, plain as day. So that we know that's a possibility.
Right.
Our whole show is targeted to a specific type of person. This is not Christian entertainment. We're trying to reach people specifically. So
Yeah.
There you go, Kyle.
See,
Question
Kyle?
a question for Jeremiah. I know you have a pinned tweet about an album.
Yeah, man.
Is it coming out? What's up with it? Is it out?
No, it's not out. I'm still looking for production from it. I think one of the things is when I was listening to for a lot of producers, they would send me stuff, and it just really sounded like everything. It was like nothing stand outish. But then also we got a lot of stuff going on. Like I'm working on a board game that I've had for years that I'm involved in.
That's dope.
So I have a board game based off the music industry. And I really want to work. We've been working on that. Me and my wife been working on that, and then me and my wife was working on some other stuff too. So it's just been like I didn't lose focus on the album, but then also I'm
shifted.
like it just kind of shifted on different things. You know what I'm saying? But
ask him why he don't just make the beats himself. Like he made a majority of the beats on his album. He made beats on the FMG project. I mean,
yeah. Well, I'll say, I made production. I think the best beat I've ever made, honestly, so far, has been on Rick Sincere's album. It has a song called Full Throttle. which Sean raps on as well. Sean is an artist too. If y'all don't know this, Sean has an album out called The Wonder Years. If y'all want to check that out, it's on there. Eshon's on there.
Speaking of Eshon,
so
I actually texted him while we were talking to see, like, hey, bro, like, there's a lot of chatting going on about you. You might want to come and talk.
Right. You don't want him pressing you at an event, right?
Exactly.
No, but I'll say I think right now the production is so different. Like, and when I'm learning beats still, because now like as I work, I'm at my job, like my regular 9-to-5 job, and they have the radio on. I'm like, there's no kick no more. It's just like a random sound that's the kick, and it's like there's no kick no more. So I'm like, how am I in my house using kicks and there's no kicks no more? You know what I mean? Like a kick drum to lead your track. So it's like now I got to learn stuff, because like really like the last time I really made a dope beat was like a couple years ago, and I'm like, wow, I got to relearn this. So
the time is totally different. They doing double time stuff.
Yeah, and it's just weird. And then like I said, like when you ask producers for stuff, they just copying the radio. It's not like something that's like very different. And then like I may have an idea for a song for like a group of artists, like, yo, this artist would be this, and this would be dope. But like the production is like, all this is sound like, I'm like, nobody has nothing different. That's why I retweeted out like, yo, is anybody else to make people make any producers like make beats that's different? Because it's like, you know what I mean? So
everything sounding the same, right?
Yeah.
Yo, I got a question for you. You guys mentioned FMG, and I kind of had a question. You guys ever get stuff where you like, I don't know if I should play this or not? Yeah, because we had a post recently that probably got like the most comments. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just curious as to like, how do y'all deal with that?
And I know y'all can take a guess on who let it off with the comments.
What
He's
was
in the
song?
comments right now.
I can imagine. What was the song?
The video was it was on our last episode. But it was people were kind of questioning, you know what I mean, how somebody was dressed.
Was the artist named FMG? Yeah, okay. So speaking of, I actually know one of them. One of them actually goes to my church, because we were FMG, and then he was like, hey, is it okay if we we using your name? And I'm like, hey bro, I don't care.
See, Sean,
I don't care. It don't matter to me.
Oh, you guys promoted them, I think, last week.
Yeah.
The same song, right?
Yeah, the same song.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you guys get the same feedback?
No, but I can imagine the feedback. There was a certain cat suit that was
bingo.
Exactly.
No, that's good.
But yeah, I think that the interesting part about that is that like how do you deal with that now? Like like when now we're
that's my question. How do you what do you guys do? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like,
they played it. You saw them. They played it.
Yeah, I think it was easier because I know him, so I know that they're legit. We do have a process of screening out a lot of stuff. I'm not the one that normally does it. Jason Bordeaux on our team, he screens it out.
Shout out to Jason, man.
Yeah, Jason's a beast, man. So he usually does all the screening, and he's reliable with that, man. If he sees something questionable, he'll take it out. I think just for this in particular, we know one of the kids, the first guy that raps.
There's a relationship.
It was a little more like, okay, I know I could talk to him, and if we need to hash out, hey, in the future, you might want to think about this and that. That's already there. I could talk to him about that. So it's like, all right, that's fine. But yeah, normally, we do pay attention to that. Like, you got bikinis, and you kind of feel like you're showing off wealth a little bit too much. Like, all that kind of stuff is a red flag. But if we could build with people, then we have some influence on where they go. And he's a young dude, man, like young. So he has time. The first rapper, Romy, I think he goes by.
Oh, okay. Okay,
yeah. So I know him.
Yeah, here's another thing too. As you guys get in this space more and more, you're gonna come across the whole gospel rap versus Christian rap thing. Right. And that's one of those things where what we see about a lot of people in gospel rap is like sometimes it's like I'm freeing Jesus, and I kind of rap like, I'm getting money, I'm this,
Right.
I'm that, but it's just like Jesus is like Jesus got me money, Jesus got me this,
Right.
Jesus, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I think that's one of those conversations that like Christian hip hop versus gospel rap, because it's two different things. Whereas sometimes it's more like that, but majority of the time, a lot of those cats come from the streets. Honestly, a lot of those guys come
Right.
from those street backgrounds and they get saved. And it's now like, yo, I'm still trying to figure this out too. You know what I mean? So I'm just doing a video because I love God, but also I know that people ain't gonna watch my video if I'm just at the church rapping. I need to, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like a
Bible
dichotomy.
study.
Yeah. So it's like I gotta figure this out. So all I know is what I see on television, but how do I make this Christian? And I think that's what a lot of people deal with in the gospel rap sometime category deal with, and even sometimes Christian hip hop too. But in that gospel rap lane, that's a lot of cats' stories. It's like, you know, that's their story.
I could see that because and I actually would like to have a conversation with them on it, because if this is something that, like, even if y'all thought about it, or you know, you already knew what we were talking about, and the response in the comments, like even with Kyle, I mean, Kyle was actually going back and forth with Chris from FMG and the young lady as well, right? And she made some good points. But again, you know, I guess the whole visual of it all, you know, where I can see where it may offend some people, but you know, like you said, Sean, you know, you kind of know them, and you know how they are and their intentions. So I would like to talk to them and
Yeah, we may actually have them on and talk to them. Just we got other things to talk about, them using our name and stuff, but that's just part of it. But yeah, I mean, we'll talk about them, because I did notice. I was like, that's interesting. I wonder what they think about that. And because what's the motivation? I think is what you got to get down. Like, and again, like would yeah, yes, yeah. And the question is what are you doing it for?
right.
And do you even realize that there's people that may be seeing this totally different than what you may be intending? And then the camera angle was a little like crazy, but other than that, you know,
Yeah, like, and that was my,
if you just heard the song, there's nothing wrong with the song, you know what I mean?
yeah, that was kind of my thing. Like, I'm not gonna say like it wasn't, you know, I mean, like I said, with the outfit, whatever, but then also, you know, with the toasting of the wine and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
was it maybe could have, like, things could have been inappropriate? Yes, but is it like like the almost ungodly thing? Like, was it a blatant? You know what I mean? Like, to me, it just wasn't as blatant. As you know what I mean, because some women, even in church that we go to, you know what I mean, sometimes they dress in some ways that we might be like, yo, that's a little too tight, sister, or that's a little, you know what I mean. But you know what I mean, you want to check it as an individual, but also, you know what I mean, it ain't like I'm not gonna go off and be like, oh, this person
We ain't got to
don't
bring
know
up the
the Lord,
guillotine.
or yeah, like I'm not coming at her like, you know what I'm saying, like she the worst, and like, nah, you know what I mean.
Switch. Kyle said you compromising, yo. He said you part of the great falling away.
Yeah, I'm falling away now. Like,
I was just curious, like how how y'all address that, you know.
I
like with us, it was kind of like it was a concern at first, and we're like, you know, okay, we'll just rock with it, right? Because, and then like the feedback was like, okay, so we're not the only ones, right? We're not bugging, you know.
Yeah. But I mean, there was other artists on there that we know that we have.
Yeah, that we rock with. Yeah, because the song is catchy. It's a catchy song.
Song is dope. You know what I'm saying?
It's on y'all playlist. Y'all have it on y'all playlist?
No, we actually did a promo on our pre-roll with YouTube and on our IG, and then Kyle kind of brought up that conversation, and that kind of led to whatever else.
And they were watching in the comments.
Yeah,
that's how it got going.
Yeah. Nah, they cool, man. Like, you know what I mean. The brother was straight up, real cool. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so, and they engaged in the comment, and you know, and said their piece, and like stated their, you know, defended their position on it, you know.
Yeah.
So that was cool. But Judge, I just mean like, as people who have a platform, and you got people hitting you up, like how do you go about that is like my main thing. Like, is it something common in CHH? You know what I mean? Because it's not something that I've
I don't think it's that common. That was the first one in a while where I was like, oh snap. But there have been other ones that we just didn't play at all because it was just like girls dancing on a boat. You know what I mean? It's like I can't find any way to explain this one. You know what I mean? Like it was just nothing about it.
It's like, it's like Big Pimpin', but the Jesus version.
Yeah, right. Like about to walk on the water. Nah.
So I couldn't even explain that one. So.
Right. Like this video was like, but then it was like, all right, you know what I mean?
Yeah, if you shut up at that party, you wouldn't be like, oh, I gotta get out of here. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't feel like that. And if somebody started filming, you'd be like, okay, they may use this or whatever. So I didn't feel uncomfortable, but it was like, if that was my sister who's in here right now, I'll be like, hey, Camille, guys are dogs. You may want to think about how you know what I mean? Like that's it. It's just advice,
Good stuff. Well, y'all, with that being said, man, let's end this with the scripture of the day. We got Romans 14:1. As for the one who is weak in faith, welcome him, but do not quarrel over opinions.
There you go.
Is that for Eshon?
Yes, Mike.
You've been coming for him all day.
Yo,
right. That's just a question.
Yeah, that's a sub. That's what you say. It's a sub.
Right.
Nah, it wasn't a sub. It wasn't a sub at all. I don't consider like Eshon like a weaker dude in the faith or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Did y'all take offense to that? Did y'all really take offense when he said what he said? Like, did you like, oh my, are you serious right now? Like, or is it like, okay, dude, whatever? Or was it?
I think people saw that coming, but nah.
What the yeah, because a while ago, so the merch that Jimmy has on right now says "Watch Your Mouth, Beloved." So what happened was a while ago, Eshon had put something on the post, and Jimmy said, "Yo, are you Hebrew Israelite, Black Hebrew Israelite?"
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Eshon said, "I never said that. Watch your mouth, beloved." So that's how come that shirt came about.
This whole thing is a stuff.
Yeah, but Jimmy came back real humble, like, yo, nah, I wasn't, you know what I mean? It's just some of the stuff that you was putting out sounds like similar to what we've heard before. You know what I'm saying? So and you know what? I wanna say something also. We also gotta respect him for putting out his position. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just hiding it, like he put it out in the open. Yo, this is what I believe in, and this is what I'm standing on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because there could be a lot of people that they're trying to dabble in both worlds. You know what I mean? They're still trying to get their CHH fans and stuff like that. Here he was clear cut, so I appreciate that. But yeah, so that was just kind of how that whole watch your mouth, beloved. But then we try to saw the transition, and like I said, I like to look. See, we try to reach out to him as well. We DM them to see if we can get him on the show, kind of chop it up. You know what I mean?
I'll say, man, one of the things you guys do very well, man, y'all have more guests on the show. Like y'all have controversy guests on y'all show. So it's like y'all have had my man from MAGA Rap. We talked about MAGA Rap on the show, but we never had him on. But
Bryson.
I mean, y'all have Bryson on. Y'all have guests, man. Y'all have like y'all want the smoke. It's not like y'all want the smoke.
I do.
We just trying to have a conversation. You know what I mean?
I don't even think it's always smoke. I think it's just that we talk about these people, and it's like, why not talk to them? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now sometimes we talk about them and we don't have them lined up yet. You know what I mean? But they're probably the biggest thing that's happening publicly in CHH. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But really, we just want to get behind the mind of an individual. That's why we go through topics first, and then we ask you after, what's your deal? You know what I mean? How you came about and all that. So
yeah.
Word.
That's dope, man.
Well, with that being said, we want to thank Sean and Jeremiah of Trackstarz. Where can they find you? What you got going on? Let everybody know.
You can find us Trackstarz with a Z on everything: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, everything. Me, I'm Sean David Grant, SCAN, Sean David Grant, and that's it everywhere. So I started doing YouTube videos, talking about technology and creators like yourselves, like how to live stream, how to edit photos, how to make thumbnails, to help pass on the knowledge that I have. So I've been working on that. So hopefully I could get that going.
Oh, is it channel live yet or?
Yeah. I have 4 or 5 videos up now. So it's youtube.com/Sean David Grant.
Let's go. All right.
I'm about to sub right now.
And let me know what, and I'm asking everybody, tell me what you want to know, because I'll do a video on whatever.
Listen, I got you here right now, bro. I got a question for you. You use OBS, right?
Yeah. I like this though. I like how y'all doing it.
Are you using are you on Mac or PC?
Mac. Well, I do OBS from a PC though. I do OBS from the PC. So like what I'm on right now is a PC. But my everyday thing is a Mac.
Yeah, you just shot me down. I need help. I was gonna go look for a Mac video because I'm having all kinds of trouble.
Yeah, I had too much trouble on the Mac, man. So I had to get it.
And I was trying to avoid getting a PC, right? Because I've been.
It's like it don't like
I'm invested in Mac. You know what I'm saying? Like I own stock in everything. Every device is Mac.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I got to get a PC now.
But yeah, OBS don't like to play with Macs. Neither does Zoom. So both of those running on a Mac, it just did not like it. So I had to try something else.
Right. Use have you tried Streamlabs? Streamlabs OBS?
I have added Streamlabs too. I had to turn it off recently because and there's 2 different things. There's There's a Streamlabs that you can. Oh, I'm talking about Stream Elements. So you can add Stream Elements, which is similar. On top of OBS, I had to turn that off recently because it started cutting the sound off of everything. Streamlabs I haven't tried, which is like a branch off of OBS.
You're right.
It's more gamey. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
a lot of overlays, and I didn't feel like I wanted to learn that, so I haven't tried it yet. But
okay, definitely subbing right now.
Yeah, man. So let me know whatever. I mean, I've been doing this for a while, so I know a lot of different things, mixing, mastering, all that stuff. So let me know.
What kind of camera do you have? Because your camera is crispy.
It's a Black Magic Pocket.
That's why.
Yeah,
so
when that STEMI money comes in.
it's actually exactly the stimulus price right there.
There you go. You could think
no lens.
no stock lens, but you know what I'm saying, you can work out.
Do you do music videos as well, or?
Yeah. So like FMG, we were talking about. We nothing controversial in our video, so go check us out, FMG. Yeah, I did those videos.
Nice.
Yeah, we used to have a group called F. The reason why I was kind of upset a little bit was because we did have a group called FMG, and we had an album out called Misfits and Bangers, and we had 2 videos. One was called a song called "This Is For Everybody," and then another song called "King." And that was like what 2012, 2013, I think it was. Sean? Yeah, around that time. Oh, wow. So in our heyday we rapped too. So
okay.
And Sean's still in his heyday too. But we rapped, and that's kind of how we came together. Thanks, Camille, Freedom Music Group. And that's how we kind of came together originally before I got with Trackstarz, was because me and Sean was in the group at our church kind of thing, and then we did our first mixtape together, and after that it was just on, and we just been chill like ever since. So but that's why I was like, when I first saw that, I was like, oh snap.
He was tight, man. He was tight.
And the funny part was I wasn't mad at him, but I was just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know about that, right? Like, and he was like, yeah, but y'all ain't using it. So like, he didn't say that, but it was just like, y'all, we already got it going. I was like, oh, okay. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. So it was a known thing. It wasn't like, we didn't know about that name.
Nah, they knew.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I give him a benefit of the doubt. They may, as a collective, may not have known, but he probably did. He remembered. He remembered because he was like, we used to perform at my church, and he was at our church. So yeah. So, but I ain't no beef with nobody. No, man. It's not
right.
It's not that serious.
Right.
But yeah, so
He discovered it.
yeah, but if you want to check it out, and it's I would say it's Christian hip hop, like it's like talking about Jesus through and through. So yeah,
You guys still rapping or not?
We do. We started doing solo projects, so that's when FMG kind of got put to the side. But yeah, we still not as much recently, but we still can. I guess I'll say that.
Okay.
Still get asked to do features and whatnot.
All right.
Dope.
We're gonna have to put that on our playlist too, man.
That's what's up.
I'm telling y'all,
No,
man. Like,
listen to Wonder Years and let me know what y'all think.
yeah, listen to one of
Yep.
these. It's good.
Switch still rap, so you know what I mean. If y'all need
I'll
an
rap.
extra 16,
I'm
you know what I'm
budding, I'm
saying.
budding.
Switch.
Okay, let's
That's
do
it.
it.
You Joe,
Let's
say
do
you
it.
Joe Budden.
I'm budding.
He got
My
the mic and
podcast.
everything. He got the whole. You know what I'm saying. The focus right.
You
Yo,
retired.
you know what I mean.
I mean, you get criticized as a podcaster too, but with music, it's like,
Yeah,
especially in CHH,
With
it's
music,
like,
automatically. Oh, that's trash.
Yeah,
there's not
yeah.
enough Jesus bars or whatever. It's like, man, I'm good, man.
But I think sometimes it's like people hating on you versus like just saying like, hey man, you need to work on this. You know what I mean? Like sometimes they could be like, yo, you trash. Like, why am I trash? You just trash.
Yeah.
I'm just trash. What? I can't work on anything. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Like, I wouldn't be like, no one would be like, yo, you trash, but I'll just see like I'll be overlooked in certain things, like, and I'm like,
yeah. No,
Like,
Ain't
what's the
nobody
goal?
calling me trash.
you know what I'm saying? Like, what's the difference? Like, you know what I mean? It'd be like, oh, I was overlooked over here, so I was like, whatever, man. It is what it is. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Josh said switches a secular rapper. Yeah, I ain't Jesus per minute.
He know.
APMs.
What do you think? Do you guys think we're going to get more female rappers that are going to be a Christian but still going to show like what we saw in the video? You think we're going to see more of that coming down the pipe?
Nah.
You
Yeah.
say that about Angie Rose.
Oh yeah.
They said that about Andrew Rose?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, she stay in a sweatsuit.
Not
Not in the
all
music
the time.
videos. Not in the music videos.
She got some crop tops.
Yeah, I think you're gonna see it because you see it in church. You know.
Yeah.
But for years it wasn't like that though. Like in years in
Yeah.
Christian hip hop, it really wasn't like that. Like you would see a video of somebody and she would just be rapping, and people wouldn't be like have a problem with it. But now it just seems like more and more people are like, yo, is that too tight? Is that this or that? You know what I mean? And it's just one of those questions where you're gonna ask is like when we get more and more female rappers in this genre and get pushed, what's gonna happen?
There's one in the comments. She said we're overlooked.
Yeah.
Bars.
All right, yo.
Well, hold on. Not all right. Jeremiah didn't drop his links and everything else.
I am Jeremiah on Twitter, IG too. I just trying to figure out TikTok.
Oh, you doing dances,
Like
huh?
dances?
No,
doing
I did. I did one of those joints. Okay, if you get to really know me, I'm very silly. I'm very silly
Yeah.
and laughable and all that other stuff. So I joke too much. You know what I mean? My wife sometimes is like, yo, you play too much. But that's
Pranks.
just one.
That's his problem.
That's everybody's wife.
Mine's is to the extreme though. Yeah. But I did like one of those things that what is that? They say what is that thing on TikTok where somebody say something and then all of a sudden they get serious? I did that. One of my first ones was like this week. I was almost late to work trying to do that, figure it out and stuff. So, but I am Jeremiah. Maya, spelled that way. So yeah, so that's my all my stuff. You know what I mean? So
Dope.
if you want to hit me up, we could talk. If you got a podcast, whatever. If you got music, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But say hi first. Please just don't get in my DMs and just push your stuff.
Yo,
Just
listen
say,
to
"How
my
you
mixtape,
doing?
right?
How you doing? How's your day going?
Oh, do you guys get that a lot? Like just bunch of links.
Man,
Watch my video.
Yeah.
Check out my new album.
It's not
All the
even.
time.
It's not even like lovable. It's just like, hey man, I do Christian hip hop. Can you check my stuff out? It's like I don't even know you. Like, what did?
Right.
You don't even follow
Why?
me.
Why should I?
You don't
check
even
your stuff
engage
out?
in none of my content.
You
ain't
know, man,
doing it right.
love. Yeah.
Right.
So
Like
and
my
it's-
last 6 picks first. Comment on all of them. You gotta earn it, man. Listen to my album.
Dope.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
why like it's just sometimes it feels overwhelming. Honestly, it just feels like you just want to use your situation just to like just use we build or whatever. You know what I mean? And you're gonna get that too. Once you guys start rising and start doing more and more, y'all DMs are gonna be filled like, yo, you should hook us up, man. What's good? You should hook me up.
Right, hook me up.
Right.
Here's my album. It come out tomorrow. Play it on the show.
Here's my PayPal link.
We actually get Cash App requests for money. Like,
are you serious?
Yeah, from artists, everybody. Just
Wow.
hey, I need to do this. I need to do that.
Wow.
Okay.
Switch get that.
Yeah.
No.
All the time. You're gonna be sharing.
Funny.
Yeah. This was
Anyway.
dope, man. I appreciate y'all taking the time. Especially
Thank you
with
for the
busy
time. I know you
week.
guys got busy schedules and all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Oh
for
man,
sure.
our pleasure, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having us, man.
Absolutely.
And
Well,
Yo,
shout out to Ryan Righteous real quick too.
Word.
Third party,
Yeah.
third party.
Yeah.
Ryan Righteous.
Yeah.
I think all of his stuff on social media is Ryan Righteous as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to
All
Ryan.
yeah.
Hey, make sure y'all subscribe to That's Not Christian. Support these brothers, man.
Yeah,
like,
man.
share this stuff. The support. I remember when we were getting like maybe 5 people listening, 50 people listening. To support, anybody's support helps so much. Comments, likes, follows, all that stuff really helps. So go subscribe right now, like right now. Don't waste no time. Just pause, do it right now, and then come back.
Facts.
That's right.
Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. The fellas from Trackstarz for coming through on the show. When we end the live stream, don't go anywhere. And don't forget to get your merch. Shop.that'snotchristian.com. Use promo code TNC10 to get 10% off. And don't forget to get your Eurific wands. A lot of people going back to school now because everything is opening up. You want to make sure you have a sanitizing wand. Super easy, rechargeable. Just go to Eurific.com. Use promo code TNC and get free shipping and $10 off as well. So make sure you get that. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Make sure you leave those reviews on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Thanks again. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.